Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Don't we have something extra happening between us? I love, y'all. You are the only real thing I've had in my life. What? Hello. That's so sweet. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kayla's Movie Corner. Yes. Today, we are talking about one of my favorite rom-coms and one that I have literally rewatched a million times. Yes, and it is Just Go With It, released in 2011. Now, Just Go With It is peak 2010s rom-com era. It stars Miss Jenniffer Aniston herself, along with Adam Sandler, and it's really just a fun time, It's just a fun time. Class, make sure you have your notepad ready and your notes jotted down. We're going to get into it. It was a box office success, earning $214 million off of an $80 million budget, even though it did get a lot of negative reviews, which I was really surprised about. I literally grew up watching this movie like a million times, and I didn't know there were people who didn't like it. A lot of people are hating on the plot, saying that it's unrealistic, and to that I say, babes, it's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's not meant to be realistic, babes. And so if you don't like fun movies, you won't like this movie, because this movie is a fun movie. From my research and from my sleuthing on the web, I found that people either fall into the category of really enjoying this movie and seeing the beauty in it, like myself, or they're on the opposite end where they really, really hate it and think it's the worst thing ever, and they hate Adam Sandler and everything he does, and they think Jenniffer Aniston is subpar actress because she does rom-coms. Hello, what? But taking a step back, I think that does make sense if you're going into this movie that's labeled as a rom-com and you're expecting something like A Sleepless in Seattle or Notting Hill. Those 90s era rom-coms. Nothing like what you're getting here, babes. You're in the wrong place. Take a left. So this is a rom-com that actually has an equal emphasis on the romance and the comedy aspects, which is definitely more commonplace for these raunchier 2010s rom-coms. So think of your Crazy Stupid Love, your Something Borrowed, your Magic Mikes. This falls into that category and era of the rom-com genre. And there's some people who really hate those types of movies, but me, I'm here for it. I like it. It's what I grew up with, and it gives me a sense of nostalgia. And what did Mr. Timothy Chalamet say?
I ate him right the fuck up.
I ate him right up. And so I have seen this movie countless amounts of times because I was a TV baby. And so as part of my TV baby era, this came out at perfect time when I was in middle school, and I watched the reruns all day. But there are definitely some things that I did not remember occurring at all. Things like the intro. Because hello, where am I? Why are we at a wedding? What's going on? I don't remember that happening. Maybe it's because the last time I watched this movie was probably 10 years ago. So maybe that's why that memory has drifted away. Or maybe it's just whenever I tuned into this movie on the TV, it just so happened that we were past the first 10 minutes. And so I didn't realize that this was a plot line that occurred. And if you haven't seen this movie, the beginning scene is we're in a random 80s wedding. And we learned that this wedding is Adam Sandler's character, whose name is Danny, and his soon-to-be wife, which is his wife IRL, cute. And she's talking about how she doesn't really love him. She's only with him because he's going to be a cardiovascular surgeon. He's going to have a lot of money. How she cheated on him with some other man last night. Yikes. And we see that Danny is outside the door listening in. He's hearing all of this. That's not good. And so, of course, his heart is broken. And like every man who goes through their first big heartbreak, he forsakes love and is I'll never find love. I don't want love, whatever. I will just be a whore the rest of my life. And so he starts his whore journey, and he goes to a bar, still in his wedding outfit, still having the ring on, his wedding band. And through his adventures of being a whore, he learns that women seem to like the troubled married man aesthetic. They feeling they're saving, they're helping a man. The wedding ring theory, apparently, it gets the girls going. Not me, though. Don't bring that over here. he drops this line. He says,
being fake married is the perfect way to make sure I never get my heart broken again.
right, because now he's scared of commitment. Yeah, shout out to that woman for breaking his heart. Here you go. And so it's really an easy in to a conversation with a woman, and it's an easy out to be like, oh, gotta get back to my wife. And this whole thing can really be summed up by this note that he leaves this girl that he just slept with, which says, thanks for not beating me like my wife does. I had a great night. Right. Like, I think that's gonna scare her away, maybe. And you know what? I'm sorry, like, this is camp, and it's fun. It's a fun premise, like, hello? And so since he got his heart broken, he also decided to switch his whole career up, I guess, and he became a plastic surgeon instead of a cardiovascular surgeon. And this is where we meet Miss Jennifer Aniston's character, Catherine, because she is his assistant. And so as they both work in a plastic surgery office, this sets up a perfect comedic setting where some botched patients can come in and they fix them. In particular, we get this one lady, she has just a really bad Facetune filter on. And you know what? That's camp. That's camp. Did you see that bounce? Like, what? Okay. That's literally camp staring you right in the face. We fast forward a bit and we get to what seems like a plastic surgery filled party. Metaphor for a celebrity party? I don't know. But we're there. And as we're entering there, we get Sean Kingston, fire burning, laying in the background. And then we encounter this man who is supposed to look absolutely ridiculous, like he's got all this face fillers and such, but he looks fine by today's standards for older celebrities who have gotten work done. Of course, there are some jokes in this movie that don't stand the test of time, and I think when I was younger, I was scared. I was like, oh, but now everybody looks like that. So it's not like, it's just like, hi. Happens to the best of them. And so at this party, we meet the primary love interest for Danny. She waltzes into the scene. She's 23 years old. Nothing on You by Bruno Mars. Ooh, it's a bop and a half. And she introduces herself as Palmer. And we learn that she is a 6th grade teacher. Slay! So they hit it off. He feels like she's so much better than all the other girls. She's different. I love her. And so they spend the night at the beach. They wake up in the morning. She's like, oh, I want to see you again. And he's like, oh, I have my number, like my business card. It's in my pants. It's over there. Go look for it. And so she goes to look for his business card and she finds the ring. Oh, yikes. And so she is not happy about this and she has no interest in being the homewrecker. So she runs away. Go back to the office and Danny is relaying this story to Catherine. And we learn that Catherine is divorced and has 2 kids. The names are Michael and Maggie, but those names don't last very long, so you don't have to write them down. If you wrote them down, it's okay, but they get changed immediately, so it's fine. The boy is a typical boy. He loves money.
Mom, give me some money.
Video games and dolphins. But Maggie, on the other hand, wants to be an actress, and so she's working on her British accent.
Hello, Dr. Danny.
That's her thing for the movie, so keep that in mind. She's not British, neither is her character British. Back to this boy. I don't know if you guys remember Fish Girl, but he's giving Fish Girl. And instead of wanting to go to the Bahamas and recite some ocean facts, he wants to go to Hawaii to swim with the dolphins. The resemblance is uncanny. And so he's begging Danny to take him because he heard from his mother that Danny has money. Hello, he's a doctor, he's a plastic surgeon, duh. But of course Danny says no because he's no fun, hello. And so the kid asks his mother if he can take a Delvin, which we learn is a metaphor, a euphemism, a pseudonym for taking a poop, for taking a shh. And it's named after Catherine's arch nemesis / roommate from college named Devlin. And so they use it instead of the curse word, which I will be adopting for the rest of this video. So keep that in mind. Write that down. Danny goes on to try to win Palmer back by showing up at her school and letting her know that he is actually getting a divorce from his wife that he doesn't have. The wife's name is Devlin. That's the most recent name that's gone through his head. So of course that's what he uses. And, it turns out that Palmer wants to meet this Devlin. He wants to hear from the source if this is true. She wants to see what she's getting herself into. And so, who's gonna be Devlin? Who's gonna be Devlin? Well, the only other female in this movie thus far, he has Catherine. Yes. He asks Catherine to be his fake wife, so he needs the illusion of a hot first wife. And Catherine's not giving hot girl right now. She's giving receptionist librarian, which is what I'm channeling right now. Thus, the 2010s required rom-com makeover scene commences. And I love a good makeover scene. And I love this little scene with the shop lady who works at YSL because she's trying on shoes and the shoes cost $1,700. And Danny's like, shoes that cost $100. What? And so Catherine goes, I think I'm getting sick. I don't think I can go to the dinner. And then he catches her drift. And so he's like, all right. I guess I'll pay for the shoes. And he goes on to call her some names that aren't so nice. And the saleswoman is peeping all of this. And she goes, you know what? I think you should buy her the matching bag too. Ladies, we stick together. This is peak girl power 2010s energy boss ladies remix. Boss. Michelle Obama. Her so heavy getting no dollars. Boss. And so as she continues to shop, we get this mashup. You have my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. One of the first ones in the movie, and there's many more to come, so don't worry if you love a good mashup. It's a mashup between Umbrella and Tenderness. And you know what? I think the mashup eats. But it reminds me of a Reddit post that I saw when I was doing my research, in which it says, Just Go With It is an awful movie for other than obvious reasons, ignoring the fact that Adam Sandler's character is unlikable or that he loves making movies in tropical locations so that he can have fun vacations. The characters are dumb and the premise is very contrived, but beyond all that, the thing that makes me cringe the most about this poorly written movie is the use of mashup songs. I just don't understand it. It makes a bad movie worse. Now, to each their own, but I listened to all the songs in the movie, and I have the opposite opinion. I think the mashup songs are great. You know what? Because if they just had regular Umbrella by Rihanna playing in that moment, I would be too focused on the fact that Umbrella by Rihanna is playing to pay attention to the actual movie. And so I appreciate good cover or a mashup to make the song fit the pacing of the movie, you know, whether it's to make it like a little bit of a slower tempo, higher tempo, pick up the pacing, you know. I like that. I think that's the creative freedom you can get with movies. And I don't think that's a crime. Anyways, so now that Catherine has bought some new clothes, it's time to change her hair. And so Keegan-Michael Key is the hairdresser, and that's a little slay. I mean, he eats this one thing up. He ate that little one thing.
Hell no.
He ate his little onesie.
Neglect.
He's giving Paolo from The Princess Diaries 2 shout out my last video. Go watch it if you haven't. But we don't get the big reveal of the hair magic just yet. No. We don't get that yet. We cut to Danny and Palmer at dinner waiting for Miss Catherine's arrival. She's arriving fashionably late, as she should, because now she has fashion. Yes. And arrive she does.
Is that her?
And so, what mashup song does she enter the room to? Well, of course, it's a mashup of Roxanne and You Should Be Dancing, which eats. It's perfect for the moment. Like, lock me up, officer, I'm sorry. Like, what? It's good. But let's examine the makeover. Her hair, exactly the same. It only has a slight bent at the end. She's wearing a bodycon dress. Okay, that's an upgrade from her Old Navy outfits from before. Okay. She's wearing the heels that she tried on, the beige color that she did not try on and that was not mentioned in the last scene. But, you know, hey, movie magic, it's fine. And she's wearing sunglasses that cover half of her face. Right? Is that the replacement for her real glasses? I don't think so, but sure. Although she does undoubtedly look the exact same as she did before, her attitude is different. And that's what really matters, you know? And so she comes up to the table and she starts reading this man to filth. She's playing the angry ex-wife well. He's saying that he has ED, that his little girlfriend is 15, all types of stuff. And the chemistry here is crazy. Jenniffer Aniston, Adam Sandler, they have great chemistry. As a friendship duo, as a lover duo, they have it. It's really what's carrying the movie.
Why'd you kick her?
What? Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I did. I have leg spasms.
It just feels very natural and fun. I love fun. We're about 30 minutes into the movie now, and we get our first... Oh, Wait, what's that sound? What's that sound? Guys, what's that? It's a title drop. It's our first title drop. Because as Catherine is going back to her car, she calls the doorman Henderson, to which he replies,
You keep calling me Henderson.
and she says, just go with it. She said the thing. She said the thing. She said the thing. The title of the movie. And so this is extra funny as an added layer because he doesn't have another name at all. Right. But as they're saying their goodbyes, she gets a call from her kids. Uh-oh. So now Palmer thinks that they have kids together and wants to meet the kids. Yikes. 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 So everyone goes home and Danny meets with the kids the next day without telling their mom.
You know this is kidnapping.
Yes. Well, yes, it is.
Is the guy from Dateline NBC gonna walk in?
Probably. He probably will. And so they strike a deal where Bailey Madison gonna get acting classes and $300. And the guy from Tall Girl doesn't get his trip to Hawaii, but he gets unlimited arcade tokens and a PS3. They call it even. Deal. And so back at the office, Danny hears that Catherine is going on a date. He can smell some perfume on her neck. And he seems to be a little jealous.
Man, I'm brain.
He's making fun of the man's little goatee beard, saying it's like blowing in the wind, try and get under her skin, see what the vibe is. And I love these little seeds for their love story, you know? It's just kind of fun banter, and I love that for them.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Oh, red alert, red alert, red alert. Another title drop occurs. Yes, this is not even 10 minutes after the first one, but yeah, just go with it. Anyways, Bailey is explaining how improv works because now they're all meeting at the arcade and she explains, you know, if someone says something, don't negate it. In my acting class, if someone says no, everyone in the class yells, die! Right, right. It's giving Victorious. It's giving Harlem Shake Vine humor. So it makes sense for the time and in the context of this moment in history, really. But after establishing the ground rules in the parking lot, they make their slow motion walk inside to meet Palmer. As an aside, but this movie loves their slow motion walk scenes, and you know what? I think it's kind of cool. I like it. It's very Baywatch. I like a slow mo walk. Aside done. Kiki D, aka Bailey Madison, aka Maggie, is one of the first to speak, and she's decided to be British.
Hello, Palmer.
She said she's committing to the bit. Very Madonna of her. And you know what? Whatever acting classes she's been taking, she pulls them out. She pulls out that knowledge real quick, and she puts on a show. He says, with my dad, just an hour a week.
With him and his whore.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so they continue mixing and mingling through this arcade when Ocean Kid decides to put his acting chops on display.
Maybe I'm upset.
He acts all sad, and of course, Palmer asks him, why are you so sad? You can tell me anything, it's okay. And he explains that, you know, Dad promised to take me to Hawaii, but now he's not because he's...
But you...
Iconic of him. Now guess what? We're going to Hawaii. Everyone's swimming with the dolphins now. You know, Fish Girl would be proud. Fish Girl might have never made it to the Bahamas, but Mr. Dolphin Boy is going to Hawaii. Yes. And one thing about me is I love a good manipulation tactic. Yes, this is exactly what I used to do as a kid. And my mom would call me out for it because I would be crying. So tears. 1 minute. And then after I got what I wanted, I wiped them away. I was good. I wanted to be an actress. Anyways, so now everyone is at LAX and they're ready to go to Hawaii. When all of a sudden, we hear this agitating, grating voice from Eddie, who has been a side character this whole movie. I just don't care for his character, so I haven't mentioned him. But he is Danny's cousin, and he wants to go to Hawaii. So he's pretending to be Catherine's new man and is cosplaying as a European sheep herder. Yeah. But it works, so he gets to go to Hawaii with them. I don't know, guys. But guess what? I don't need to know because this is just fun. It's fun. It's something fun for the kids. So now the gang all arrives to Hawaii, and Danny starts looking at engagement rings. Hello? What? He just met this girl like 2 weeks ago? Because he just has a feeling that, you know, this girl is different from the other 23-year-olds I've met. Even though Eddie here is being the voice of reason, which means you know you're doing something wrong, you know? But alas, it's dinner time. So they're at a Hawaiian dinner. It's flame dancer vibes. And Eddie is explaining all about his sheep to Palmer because she asked about what he does. He's making up all these lies and stories. And he implies that Catherine has a fetish for sheep skin. I don't know. And so she decides I can't sit here any longer and pretend that I am remotely interested in this sheep herding lying German man. Okay? So she gets up, goes to talk to Danny away from the table to explain I'm gonna have to leave. I can't do this. I can't do this. Then he comes to talk her into staying.
I cannot stand that face.
But what's that? Oh, that's Nicole Kidman. Yes, that is Nicole Kidman as Devlin. Right. Yep. It's that indescribable feeling when baby girl comes on screen. So they reunite, the ex-bestie roommates, sorority girls. Yes, Queen! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you! They fake being happy for each other. And Catherine meets Devlin's husband. And I guess he invented the iPod. Good for him. Slay, I guess. So Devlin is talking all about her husband, hyping him up, yada yada yada. And she says, oh, I ran into Catherine the other day and it turns out that she is a single mother. Such a disaster. Catherine can't let her know that she's also a single mother. So what does she do? She says, oh, this is my husband. This is my husband, Danny. Yeah. So that's right, folks. This is a fake relationship trope, RomCom, double layered, perfect, okay? The first layer being in a fake divorce relationship. Second layer, being in a fake happy marriage. Hello? Icons. Okay, so since Devlin's husband apparently invented the iPod, Danny needs to say something impressive too. So he says that he invented barking hand.
To the barking hand.
Which I am ashamed to say. The joke made me chuckle. Like, it's funny. Hello, it's fun. Sorry that I like fun and that I think jokes are funny. Okay? Like, sue me, Sabrina Carpenter. What do you want me to do? And so they finish bantering back and forth and agree we should all have dinner one night. I'm sure that'll turn out great, right, guys? Okay? Right. But now, this is another lie that Catherine has roped everyone into now. So now she can't leave. And the web of lies is further intertwined. And everyone must go with it. And so next, our main gang go on a nature adventure. And my favorite moment from this excursion is when Danny is carrying Kiki on his back. She's enjoying her piggyback ride. I love a piggyback ride too, girl. I do. I love to jump on somebody's back. And, whoopsies. I think Kiki slipped. She did not slip.
Oh, Father, I just love spending time with you.
Oh, I love a fake British accent. I do. I leave. Go further along the trail and they reach a waterfall. Ooh, ah. And so some of them decide to get in. And when Kiki gets into the water, she's covered in mud from before, and so a pool of mud just forms around her. And I think that's hilarious, okay? That's like a physical comedy bit. I think that's hilarious. I like fun. And so Palmer has already had her Baywatch waterfall entrance moment, slow-mo. And now it's time for Catherine to take a little dip in the pool. Catherine is this nerdy doctor girl. Danny and Eddie are making fun of her. We're like, yeah, go in. Are you even wearing a bathing suit? But she reveals her banging body in slow motion, of course. A mashup of begging and Can't Stand Losing You. Shout out to Charlie D'Amelio. And so after this, Palmer is like, is it our night to watch the kids? Because Catherine had them last night. So I assume you guys alternate, right? Alright. And so as Catherine is dropping off the kids, we get some more tension between her and Danny. He drops a little gem of saying, you should relax. Take the night off. Maybe you can talk some people with your sneaky hot body. Oh yeah, he slipped that in there. He slipped that in there under the bed. And he's down bad. And he He brings up Brian, the guy she went to lunch with, out of nowhere.
What do you mean? You went to lunch with him?
I told you I was going to lunch with him.
He's done that a few times, hasn't he now? Yes. He's a little jolly. At night, the kids are playing Talking Points, which is basically we're not really strangers, but I'm guessing this was just a 2011 version. I don't know. And so the first question they answer is, if you could be one person beside yourself, who would you be? I'm only highlighting this for one reason, and it's because when Danny answers, he said, I would want to be me. Then he's like, I would either be Captain Kirk or me. And you know who's Captain Kirk? Chris Pine. My favorite actor, Chris Pine, who I will mention any chance I get, whose discography I am working through. Yes, I'm aspiring to be a Chris Pine completionist. And I did sit my butt all the way through all 3 Star Trek movies, even though I have zero interest in anything Star Trek related. Have I seen Star Wars? No. Have I seen anything Marvel? No. I'm not a sci-fi girly. I would have never watched those movies if Chris Pine was not in it. But I sat my butt through all 3 of those movies, even the atrocious 3rd one, which was absolutely painful. Star Trek Beyond. Beyond me why they made that one. Beyond me. Anyways, rant over. The next card they pull is name something that makes you sad. Yikes. This isn't gonna get deep, is it? This is a comedy film, it's fine. Bart breaks character and he reveals that he misses his dad.
My dad doesn't have time for me.
He's meaning his real dad and not fake dad, Danny. But of course Palmer thinks that, oh no, I'm getting with a deadbeat dad. Yikes. So Danny has to go console the kids to look like a good father and a good guy.
Well, my dad doesn't have time for me.
And so to console the kids, he says, you're going to be dead soon. That's the good news.
Okay?
And so it's because he will kill them off with his lies after this little vacation's over. Bye. As a result of Bart's little trauma dump breaking character moment, Annie gets the kids for the day, while Palmer and Catherine get to go to a spa day for their day with their dad. He takes them to play golf, except they don't play golf and they just take pictures in the same patch of grass. Yeah, they just take 20 pictures from the same angle in the same patch of grass all day. So it was like, and so of course the kids are not having fun because they don't even get to play golf. And Bart asks if they can actually do something fun instead of just pretending to have fun for the camera. And Kiki says, don't worry, we never have fun with our real dad either.
Oh, man.
Dramatic look away because girly, them acting classes are working. She's eating Miss Devlin up. This works into guilting Danny to teach Ocean Boy how to swim because yes, it turns out he dragged everyone to Hawaii to swim with the dolphins, even though he doesn't know how to swim by himself, let alone with dolphins. So, what's left. Anyway, so let's check back in with the girls on their spa day. How's that going? Well, it turns out Palmer is asking Catherine about what she should get Danny for his birthday that's coming up. Catherine goes, she's listing everything under the sun.
But it only likes the cotton candy and the peanut butter, so you have to buy the bag of the Jelly Bellies, separate the cotton candy and the peanut butter, and then you put them into a little
music from the 90s, nothing from the recent years. She knows everything about this man. She knows everything that this man loves, which makes sense because she is his, assistant / receptionist, but also which could mean nothing. And so Bart, he's learned how to swim. He's swimming like a fish. And both girlies are in love with Danny now because, hello, a man who can just take the reins, a good father that will get anyone to fall for them. And so they do. They're staring right at him in his eyes, being happy, living in the moment, taking in this beautiful shared memory.
What are we looking at?
And Devlin comes by and, oh right. Oh no. Catherine is going by Devlin to Palmer. And here is the actual Devlin, because it's not looking good, bro. How do we stop Palmer from revealing the secrets and asking why these 2 girls have the same name? Exactly. The solution? Simple. Just throw Palmer into the water and drown her so she can't speak. Duh. And so Devlin asks her and Danny to go for dinner. And so Catherine calls him on the phone to convince him to come because she needs him. You know, she can't look like a fool to Devlin. She needs to impress her. She decides to tell Eddie to ask Palmer to have dinner together so that way Danny will be free. So you know what? Problem solved. So now we're at dinner with Devlin. And Devlin and her husband are complaining about the wine selection, which is the perfect time to mention that I know a little bit about wine myself. Yes, I took a wines course in college. Yeah. And little pause. I know. So I know a thing or two about a Merlot, a Cabernet Sauvignon, the Napa Valley, tannins, all of the such. So, you know, I can relate to these problems of picking a wine at a fancy dinner. But alas, Devin jokes about Danny being a plastic surgeon and how, oh, that's good for you, Catherine. He can fix you right on up. To which he says, she doesn't need it. She's just a natural beauty. Yeah. And then Devlin is just fishing for compliments. You know, she just loves to feel her ego. And so she asks, well, what would you do to me? And at first he's like, nothing. You're good as you are. And then he thinks more about it. He's like, you know what? You're kind of a Devlin, so they already took too much fat out of your arms.
But that's what sleeves are for.
So,
Ooh, calling out the lipo. Ooh.
My boo-boo.
What was that? Oh, it turns out Nicole Kidman's audition for Baby Girl got leaked. Let's take a look.
Your virtue, your intelligence, your passion.
So it turns out that Devlin and her husband always say what they love most about each other before they part ways. Kind of cute. You know, they lock eyes. It's a very passionate moment, okay? And mind you, all the while, this fancy dinner is occurring with the blue lights, the waves, Honolulu, Hawaii vibes. Eddie and Palmer are in the trenches in dark, moody lighting. They're with the sheep. And Eddie has to put his sheep skills to the test to save a dying sheep. Which he does. He does save the sheep miraculously, but that's what's going on over there. In case you cared at all, which you probably don't, because I don't. And so back to the lovebirds and the plot line that actually matters.
Not everyone can do it. We'll do it now.
And so they are revealing what they love about each other. And this, not improv. This is from the heart. This is real. Catherine's giving her speech. It's beautiful.
And I love that you secretly have a huge heart. I really love spending time with you.
You can tell she's in love with that man for real. Their chemistry is palpable. The tension's amazing. Love it here. He starts off his speech by saying a line about her teeth. Yeah. Nicole. You can't be doing that. But then he does give a really sweet speech saying, you're the only person I've never lied to in my life. You know every secret about me. Which, to be fair, you're the only person I've never lied to in my life. That is a glaring, glowing red flag. But they're not dating, so I guess it's fine. But like, I'd ignore it too, though. I would be like, oh, like, I'm the exception.
Love your smile. That smile is the magic.
When I'm in the operating room, all I think about is in 20 more minutes, I get to see that smile. Shoots right through my heart. That's literally the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Like, that is true love craziness talk.
I won Best Smile at our sorority 3 years straight, right, Catherine?
This devil Devlin, he ruins the moment, but I do love her red lips, so I do forgive her. And the announcers, they announced that there's going to be a legendary competition.
Legendary, never heard of it.
Gagged.
Legendary like the day you were once sober.
Double gagged. And you bet that Miss Competitive, Egotistical Devlin is going to enter that competition. And of course, Catherine ends up getting roped into it, even though she is reluctant first, because she doesn't know how to hula dance well, because she can't let that devil win. To the side note, Nicole is really killing this ginger look. The bright orange hair, the side bang swoop. I'm loving it. The six-pack abs, hello. And so they're doing a dance battle, and it's officially a diva off. Yes. It's a diva off. And so they're doing their own iconic dances. Catherine does the wave. Devlin gives Fred a stare, tap dancing moment. And she, her big finishing move is she cartwheels into the splits. Now, that's not Nicole Kidman doing the cartwheel into the splits because they purposely cover her hair when she does it. But I appreciate it nonetheless. And so they do the voting for this competition by just the crowd cheering. Oh, it's looking like Kat's going to win. Like, she clearly got more screams than, but oh no. Devlin shaked her booty some more, and so she got some more applause. So it's a tie. You know what? They both win, and they learn that they don't need to be competitive. You know, they can both be equally good.
What's the tiebreaker?
Okay. The tiebreaker is called coconut smoochie. Essentially, it's where they have to get the coconut from their midsection, their mouth, without using their hands. So therefore, you're doing a coconut smooch. Like, duh, it's in the name. It's implied, love. It's implied. Cole is struggling, really. You could tell that the pair,
Would you be quiet?
doesn't have love for each other, so they're not working together as much as they should. Meanwhile, the lovebirds are killing it.
Sorry about this, by the way.
Really? Really sorry about this?
No, I'm not. I like
They're
it.
taking their time, going nice and slow. The tension that's building, you know, they're getting a little. They've never been this close before. Oh, so hot in here. Oh no. Devlin's man drops the coconut, but how will he ever pick it up without using his hands? Now, this is a question for the audience. Does he, A, bend down and use his knees to lift it up? B, spread his booty and suck it right on up? Or C, does he use his feet? Oh, what did you say? Oh, it's B. Yeah, the answer is B.
Focus. Take it slow.
Yeah,
Take it slow.
the answer is
He's got
B. There's B. Yeah. And you know what? I'm sorry. It's funny. I think it's funny. I think it's a good way to signal that that man might be a little fruity with that clench. But even with that clench, it's no match for true love. And so, of course, Catherine and Danny win. They seem to be pretty in love, realizing that they never really spent time alone together in this way. And they've never gotten a chance to explore the possibility of a connection between them. And they're just so cute. So cute. I love love. I love love. And so they're like flirting, bantering back and forth outside the door. And as he's dropping her off, and it turns out that Brian was never really a date. It was simply like a work meeting. They start flirting real hard again, talking about, you got any other tricks up your sleeve? Tricks are for kids. And talking about kids, they're interrupted by the kids. And so they do possibly the most awkward goodbye I've ever seen in my life, where they don't know if they should hug. They obviously can't kiss, but they just do a handshake, but they don't know how they do firm one, do the dab. They don't know what they're doing. And so Danny's on his way out. He closes the door. He's going back to his room. And you know what he realizes? He's like, you know what? I like this girl. I'm gonna go confess my love to her.
I want to sleep.
If I could rewind.
And so he turns around and decides he's gonna go back to her room. And we get the song, If I Could Rewind. Cinema. A cinematic shot. But along the way, he runs into Eddie and Palmer. And it turns out that Eddie told Palmer that he saw Danny looking at engagement rings. So now Palmer wants to get married tomorrow in Hawaii. Yeah. But oh no, it gets worse. It turns out that Catherine had the same idea as Danny and was coming down to talk to him and discuss their tension. But now she can't. She learns that they're planning a wedding.
What do you mean? What do I think?
It's not looking good, bruv. And so Crashing Cars is playing. The characters are in turmoil. They don't know what to do. They love each other, but they don't know how to say it. They don't know if the other person feels the same. Their coworkers, it's kind of taboo. They don't really know. A cinematic moment. Catherine is laying down in her blue light in her room. Danny's with like a candlelit background. There's like an inkling of hope. maybe he'll confess, maybe they'll be together, maybe they won't. He calls her to check out the vibe, and they're both avoiding saying how they feel. As she says, you know, I'm a mother, I have 2 kids, I don't have time for guessing, leaving him to contemplate his life. And so Catherine is going through the hotel the next day, and she runs into Catherine. Oop. And so Palmer asks Catherine if she still wants to be with Danny, because Palmer believes that Danny still loves Catherine. He thinks they might still be in love. And now, a woman always knows. That intuition will never lie to you. And so they part ways. Catherine is seen alone, just contemplating her life, drinking at the bar, when, who shows up? Our girl Devlin. Yes, queen. Yes, ma'am. And so Catherine decides to come clean in this moment and admit that, you know, Danny's off. He's getting married to some other woman. We were never married. I was lying about all this stuff. Because, you know, she really has nothing else to lose. She already lost the man she loved. So who cares? And she admits to Devlin, like, you know what?
And I might even be in love with him, but
even though we were faking the whole time. And, you know, Devlin uses this as a chance to also come clean, admitting that she is divorcing her husband.
Well, for starters, he's gay.
Girl, we've been knew that since the coconut incident. Hello? Like, if you can put a coconut, you know, like, it's just, the signs were there. And she says, I've seen him do that with the soap. Girl, what? Girl, what? He put the soap? Okay. Anyways, they hug it out. Girl power, you know. This is a really Barbie movie moment. You know, they're joining together.
That's nice.
And it turns out that Danny has been sitting next to them for a good little while. He's been listening in. It turns out that he didn't marry Palmer after all. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Don't we have something extra happening between us? I love y'all. You are the only real thing I've had in my life. What? Hello! That's so sweet.
She's good. She's very nice. There's only one problem. She's not you.
Just immaculate vibes, immaculate energy, immaculate ending, immaculate chemistry. Like, I just love a good love story. And so, what happens at the end? They get married, yes. It's a full circle moment where it ends just how it started. We started with a wedding in the 80s, and we're ending with a wedding in the 2010s.
Well, I'm finally wearing my wedding ring for real.
Between Danny and Catherine, of course. And so it's all happy and giddy. And you know what? I love it here. I love it. Like, hello, this was fun. This was fun. Even as a rewatch, I definitely feel like this movie has stood up the test of time. I went in kind of scared because I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna live up to the nostalgia vibe tier that I had in my head. And to be honest, the only scenes that I remembered, like when I think of this movie, I remember 2 scenes in particular, which is one is the boob implant scene, because I think that was like shocking to me as like a 12-year-old girl. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And the hula dancing scene. That those 2 scenes are the ones that are like engraved in my mind. I didn't even realize that Nicole Kidman was in this, because at 12 years old I didn't know who Nicole Kidman was. And to be honest, I still am not that familiar now, but because of Baby Girl, I know her now, really. But yeah, I still would rewatch this movie. I think this is definitely one of those movies that it's a feel-good rom-com. You can watch it a million times. It's not too long, and I think it's worth the watch, really. I don't think it's as terrible as people think it is, and it's a really feel-good movie. It's vacation vibes and land. This has been my recap, revisiting of one of my favorite childhood films, which is Just Go With It. So if you liked this video, give this video a like. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And if you like my hair or my outfit, let me know. I was trying to serve Jenniffer Aniston receptionist tonight. I love y'all, and thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Kayla's Movie Corner. Yeah! Love y'all. Bye!